sweet it is to be loved by you. Yes, baby.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of Simply Real Health, Not in the Kitchen. Today kicks off a brand new series all about question and answer. I want to know, what are the things that you're curious about when you think about living a healthy lifestyle, but from a day-to-day perspective? What are the obstacles that you come across and situations and maybe even products that you're really curious about? Are they good for you? Are they not? What do I think? And how can they really apply to your daily life? So today's first question comes from Amanda, and Amanda writes, Sarah, thank you so much for teaching me about real food. I now read my ingredients on everything that I buy at the store. It's really scary. I've started to look at some of my personal care items, lotions, shampoo, thinking about my cleaning products. I've read a few things online, but I'm not really sure. Is it all hype or is it something to really pay attention to? Amanda, I love this question. It's something that I've been dying to talk to you guys about. I think it's a really confusing world out there. So when you think about food, yes, it's so important to think about what's in your food because we end up absorbing that immediately and into our systems directly. When it comes to cleaning products and when it comes to personal care products, things that you use like around the house that you're using to clean your clothes, to clean your dishes, to clean your hair, it also is actually pretty important to think about what is in those items as well. So the reason why is that our skin is actually the biggest organ on our body and it absorbs directly whatever is put on it. So think about that from a perspective of personal care items. Lotion and body wash and shampoo and conditioner, if those things can actually seep into our system just as easily and get into our bloodstream, then yes, it is really important to think about what's in those things. So no need to go on like a crazy rampage and throw everything out of your house and start scouring your labels, but it is something to start paying attention to. It's a great way to kind of, as soon as one product runs out, to maybe start slowly replacing them instead of trying to do it all at once and getting overwhelmed. So today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite beauty products. Things that I use. It can be kind of a confusing world out there to really determine when you're in a natural food store and you're in the body care section, like what stuff actually works, especially if you do wear makeup and like to do your hair like a girly girl. There are a lot of things I think that I've tested along the way that didn't really work, and there are some great brands and especially some newer ones on the market that do work just as well, if not better, and are much better for you. Here are my favorite picks. Okay, so when it comes to beauty products and personal care products, again, because whatever we use is oftentimes absorbed into our system, you want to go for the least scary as possible, the most natural ingredients, and really the same things that you're looking for in food. Simple, natural, more normal sounding things. Now, when it comes to lotions and shampoo and conditioner, it's hard to find ones that are completely and totally natural. So at least giving yourself a little bit of an upgrade and getting some of the really toxic, scary stuff out is a really good idea. So in my own shower, now not everything that I use is totally natural. I'm still myself kind of progressing over and replacing one thing at a time and kind of testing them as I go. So I'll continue to share the good ones that I find. When it comes to conditioner, I'm using a natural one right now. It's the Burt's Bees line. It's their new Good line. It smells great. And comparatively, when you look at another, let's say like a common, more commercial brand, it has a lot fewer scary things, really, and a little bit more simple. So this is a great one. It works really well. Another great brand to try when you're looking at this in the stores is this Yes To brand. So they have Yes to carrots, Yes to cucumbers, Yes to pomegranates, Yes to blueberries, really whatever scent that you like. This is my favorite face cleaner, and it works really well and smells great, and very few products, not a lot of chemicals in them as well. When it comes to body wash, that is something that I think is really important because you're actually like rubbing it into your skin, probably on a daily level. So I love this Everyday Coconut brand. Now again, the brand specifically doesn't matter. I happen to like the smell and this works really well for me. But just starting to turn all of your products around and hopefully starting to shop at more natural stores like PCC, like Whole Foods, any small co-ops, or even online, looking at some of the more natural products and testing and trying to find ones that are a little bit more clean and are a little bit more recognizable from an ingredient standpoint. Deodorant, so I get this question all the time, and the one that I use, like from a natural perspective, we're getting kind of personal here, is this Tom's of Maine Long Lasting. It's a women's deodorant, but it's aluminum free. So you want to, especially when you think about where your lymph nodes are located and the way that products can absorb into your bloodstream, you really do want to think about kind of upgrading your deodorant, at least like in the winter, let's say, to start, when you're not as sweaty and hot. Now, this takes a while to get adjusted to. So you can't just switch from like the commercial brand to a natural brand and think that it's going to work. So if you're switching from an antiperspirant, which basically stops sweat, and you're trying to go to a deodorant, which only kind of makes the smell of your sweat a little bit nicer, it's going to be a huge difference. So starting out slowly, it takes about 3 weeks, I would say, for your body to kind of slowly acclimate off of the commercial stuff, which should be a scary thought to begin with, and to start onto something like this. Now, for really hard workouts, or when I know that I'm going to be sweating a lot, I use a regular deodorant, an antiperspirant. But for those other days that I'm not, and it just kind of doesn't matter, and depending on the season, I love incorporating something like this I can feel a little bit better about. So for face lotion, first of all, if you always need to use face lotion or even body lotion, you're probably eating something that your body doesn't do well with. If you always have dry, itchy skin or eczema, that's another sign. But if it's just a seasonal thing in the winter when it actually is dry and is cold, using something, this is my new favorite, it's a pretty new brand, it's called Acure, and this is the Radical Wrinkle Complex. And I'm a girl, I actually don't like to use a lot of products in general. I'm very simple in what I use, both with food and on my own skin and my own body. But this one, I actually did notice a great difference, on my skin. It absorbs really easily, and the ingredients are very simple and very pure. So I love it. This is a great one to check out. They also do have a great face mask as well. So for you ladies or guys that want to use a face mask, this one is actually very clean and very pure as well. When it comes to thinking about your dishes and thinking about what you're, doing your laundry with, I do think it's important to go natural with those things. Again, anything you're going to wipe your countertop with that your food would touch, also important to think about. I love the 7th Generation brand. I love the Whole Foods brand, their own 365 brand. Basically anything you could find at PCC or Whole Foods or a natural food store or a very natural brand, chances are much better that you're going to find a purer product and one that's much better for you in the long term. Thanks so much for tuning in, and if you have any other questions that you would love to see answered on this segment, make sure you send us an inquiry on the website at simplyrealhealth.com. You can also tweet us and also send us a Facebook message. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time.
Yes, baby. Ooh.